Hi there, my name is Belinda Doveston and welcome to the I Ching Cafe and our weekly overview for the week commencing the 22nd of August 2022. So last week we had the limitation, the dam wall, the structures and the to-do lists that were creating order and creating control mechanisms around the flow that we were in. So how did that go for you? What was the truth that landed for you? What made sense? What came about because you opened your heart up to understanding yourself and your world in a new way? And that created the space for that hot knife through butter to just bring you what you needed, that zap of inspiration to keep you connected to where you were going and why you are here. I went and tackled my to-do list and got myself organized and prioritized my projects as a way of committing and doing the work that the I Ching is asking us to do. And it made a massive difference in the week in getting through a lot more than I would have if I was just running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Right, so let's have a look at this week. What is the I Ching asking us to pay attention to? So our first hexagram for this week is an old friend, or we have many old friends, don't we? We have 64 of them, but in this case, it's hexagram 3, difficulty at the beginning or sprouting. Oh yes, it's back, okay? That process of new beginnings, of having to get onto our feet, of the development process of new forms of life, new activity coming to the fore, of having to jump on board and building that ship as we go, of having to put in place the foundations of our life. This is a week where there's a lot going on. And maybe last week there was also stuff going on, but our management of our control last week was where our focus was needed. This week, as the new things emerge, as the seeds pop out of the ground, the little plants pop out, as the chickens hatch, okay, we had that one time as well. As all these new things start popping up all over the place, our task is how do we manage all the new beginnings? We first have to realize that we are learning as we're going. And we have to put in place our foundation. Okay, start with what's core, work with what's core. Remember me talking about that. And so we work towards a process of seizing the moment. This is a week for work. This is a week where we roll up our sleeves and we get into the fields and we work and we harvest and we put in all the energy because new things are emerging, new skills are emerging, new energy is available. And our job is to get cracking and learn and do and reap the rewards. Okay, there's so much new energy that is coming to us at this time. So a beautiful hexagram. It's going to keep us busy, it's going to keep us stressed, but that's okay. We are learning, we are growing, and as long as we're putting our back into it, we are getting up like the farmer before sunrise and going to bed after dusk, do the work, have a good night's sleep, come up the next day and do some more. So put in the effort this week, it will be worth it. Now we have one changing line in the 5th position, okay? And this is an interesting changing line. I'm going to sketch out a couple of symbols for us to work with, stories to help us work with this changing line, okay? And it talks about we've found a way in this growth process and the chickens and the saplings and the farm and all the things that are going on that are new, we have come across this secret sap. Okay, in the trees we've been growing, we've discovered there's this secret sap, okay? This might be the sugar water of the maple tree, and we're the first people to realize that we could cook this and we could turn it into maple syrup. Wow, wouldn't that be amazing? Okay, but, okay, there is quite a lot of difficulty around us, and there are quite a lot of challenging people and challenging situations unfolding around us, okay? So this line says, we have discovered the tree, the sap, something, the source of life that has given us a hook, that's given us a way to tap into the flow of this beautiful secret sap of the trees. But what we have to do is we have to be a bit careful and a little bit cautious and adaptable and kind of put a plug into the tree that we're standing at, but kind of doing it a little bit surreptitiously so no one can see. And we just tap off and we tap off a little bit of a dribble of that secret sap into a little jar and we kind of put it into our pocket. We don't go and nail these little devices into every tree we can find and say, look what I found, I've got the secret sap. We just just quiet. It's not a week where we push out, where we do a big adventure, where we go hard and we go wide, okay? It's a week where we just go subtle, quiet, cautious, a little bit under the cover, and just realize there's a whole lot of things that are playing out, and we have to just let these things resolve themselves first. So we may have got the idea, we may have tapped into something in this tree that is very powerful and very big, but we've got to keep our, okay, that's the best way I can describe it. Let's think about it from a different angle. You have discovered the most huge beehive of honey on your farm. Okay, massive. Kilograms and kilograms of honey. Oh, and you can't wait to get in there and harvest the honey. But if you go and you shove your hand in and you shove a big container in to grab honey, what are the bees going to do? They are not going to be happy with this idea. Okay, and they are going to attack you. So what you're doing is that you get a little bit of the honey and you're testing it and you're siphoning off a little bit of honey, maybe smoking them out a little bit so they're a little bit dazed. Get a little bit of a honey, but you're not going in and harvesting. That can come later. But the bees represent the knock-on effect of all this and this agitation that can be happening around you. So what we do is we take a little spoon and we get a little bit of honey and we taste that honey, right? We just a little bit, okay, and a little bit. We persevere, but in a small, delicate, subtle, adaptable way. We deal with the weak in a subtle way. Okay, so as part of this ongoing journey of growing and sprouting and overcoming challenges in new beginnings, in new phases of our growth, we this week have this little changing line in the 5th position that says, just a little. Okay, tap in just a little. Do it quietly. Adapt to everything that comes your way. Don't push out. Okay, that is going to cause too much difficulty for you this week. So let us look within our personal lives, within our teams. What could this tree sap be? Have you had an idea for your business or an idea of something you want to do for a personal project? Some new personal endeavor you want to go and do, and you want to tap into it. But this week, just know that you found something very precious. Okay, that's enough. And work with the circumstances of your life and the challenges that are coming across your desk. Okay, the time will come where we can really get into what the sap means. But just for now, be okay with the fact that you found something very special. You found the honey, you found the maple tree with the best sap ever. Okay. And then our second hexagram, our second flow relating to this week, what we're being asked to pay attention to focus on, is hexagram 24, the return. Okay, there we have a whole lot of female lines, and then right at the bottom we have this male line coming in. Remember, the lines work from the bottom up. So our little line at the bottom comes up, and we have hexagram 24, the return. The return of light after the darkness. This is the bear moving out of hibernation and into the new cycle of eating and going and catching salmon. Lucky bear. Okay, so this week there's a turning point. There's a turning back to something of your past. There's a return back to something you know. There's a turning point towards the light. Out of the darkness, out of the dark night of the soul, the light has come. The turning point is here, and our job is to turn with it. And we do that by paying attention to this changing line of just being cautious, adaptable, agile, reading the room, and not being too forceful and too overt in what it is that we want to do with the sap. Okay, thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for joining me for this episode. I will see you on the socials, and I look forward to seeing you at our next weekly overview. I'll see you soon.